underway. We broke camp about 7 o'clock this morning and then hiked for an hour and stopped for breakfast. And now we've been going for another hour or so. And there's Brent. And there's our view for right now. So we're underway. So here's our first river crossing right here. Not much of a river, it's more of a little creek, but should get a lot bigger ones here as time goes on. You chose poorly. Yeah, as we were coming up, it looked like it was just a little skip and a jump. It's still that much, but...
No, I could make it, but I'm...
Right, there's no sense getting your feet wet for something like this.
Yeah, there's just no reason to.
No.
There's no reason to risk it.
Unless we wanted to put our feet in.
Not with my shoes on.
No. I don't know if you can tell on the video, but we're getting a little taste of the fires that are going on in the park. There's just a little haze over everything. You know, there's no clouds in the sky, so it should be blue, but just kind of hazy. And that's got to be from, they call the Ferguson fire, which is over on the western edge of Yosemite, and we're pretty close to the eastern edge. And so that fire's got to be at least 50 miles away, I'd say. But it's, last I saw, it was pretty close to 100,000 acres that were burning. So this is just, you know, a little bit of the smoke that's traveled that far. You know, can smell it a little bit. So it's all been flat up until now, about 10 miles in, and just stopped for lunch and had a little swim, filled up on water, and now we're starting our first uphill on our first pass. We'll go over Kearsarge Pass, and I think we're probably going to, or no, Donahue Pass, I don't know, whatever, something. So, but we're probably gonna go about halfway up. There's a couple of campsites, possibilities, about halfway up, and then stop and camp for the night, and then we'll continue on, go over the rest of the pass in the morning. And then we'll continue on. So we've gone about a mile so far, but way down there is Lyle Forks. That's where we had lunch, so that's how much we've gone up in the past mile. And then it is Donahue Pass that we're going towards, and to the top of the pass is another 4 miles, and you know, it's about 2,000 feet total to the top of the pass. But you know, we're gonna stop probably another few miles and make camp for the night. Yeah, so there's first snow that we've seen. A little bit of snow way up on the pass up there. I'm not sure if that's where we're headed or not, but there's not much snow this year. Last year would have been definitely still a lot of snow around, but you know, my understanding, you know, there's not really anywhere that will experience any significant snow, if we see any at all, that we have to actually go through.
Good to have a snowball thrown at you right about now.
Yeah, it actually would.
Even a dirty one.
Right, even a dirty one, because there's plenty of streams to wash off at. Oh. So if you can see it, there's actually, looks like there's a good amount of snow up there, little patches. But right now we just got flat for a little while. So we're back following a river here along the trail. It's a nice little waterfall along there, and there's some campsites just up here. We were planning on, there's some campsites just up here a little ways, but then there's the last campsite before we get to, you know, last chance campsites before we have to actually go over the pass, which would be like another 1,000 feet elevation and another 3 miles just to get to the top. But it's probably more than we need to do today. But we were planning on going to the next set of campsites. It's a half a mile up, and just to get a little bit further along. But once we got here, just kind of figured this would do. So I got a nice lake, beautiful lake, mountain view, big open area. We're camped over there somewhere is where we're going to be setting up, in a little patch of trees. But not a bad place to call home for the night. It's morning of day 2. We had to, down, if you can see, it's that down there is where we camped last night. We had to cross over the little lake and got our feet wet a few times already, and some streams coming off the mountain, but across the lake and immediately had a pretty good climb to get up here. But you know, that's so far this morning, and we'll see what the rest of the day has in store. Just finished going over Donahue Pass, which was one of those over there. I'm not sure which one, but we're out of Yosemite and in the Ansel Adams Wilderness. That started, there was a sign just before we got to the top of Donahue Pass that it said we were entering Ansel Adams Wilderness. I'm not sure if you can even hear me over the water, but we're at the outlet for Garnett Lake. We've gone soaking our feet a little bit. We've gone about 12, not quite 12 miles so far, and then we were just going to go another few miles before we set up camp, and then because that'll give us less that we'll have to do tomorrow. We gotta pick up our first resupply tomorrow. So it's morning of day 3. We just started going. We had a long day yesterday. Picked up a couple extra miles to have a shorter day today, and we didn't get into camp until probably about 6 o'clock. But then that's other Tim behind us that we picked up. He's coming along with us, at least for the time being. And now we're coming up to a junction here. See what this says. What does this say?
It says Adiza Lake.
That's not what we want. Oh, we want to go towards Shadow Lake, and can't see anything on the sign because it's all in the shadow anyway.
Well, it just sounds like water.
But that's water down there. Yep.
Oh, we weren't that far from water. Though. I know.
No. Now here's our first water for the day. Pretty cool as water goes. You want to just stop here and have breakfast here? I mean, it's pretty nice. We haven't gone very far, but we usually hike for an hour or two and then stop for breakfast. We've only been going for about 15 minutes, but might just stop here. We had a very eventful breakfast. The other Tim sprayed water all over himself trying to filter water. And then he almost lost 2 of his water bottles into the river. Was able to get those. I fell into the water up into my hip, and then I lost a water bottle cap into the water. Did not get that back, but I got spares and I can replace that when we get to Reds tonight. Brent, on the other hand, didn't have any mishaps, but he did have an avocado that he had bought at Tuolumne a few days ago before we started that was still as hard as an apple. So I suspect that might have been his mistake, and he just won't find out about it for a few hours. So here's the view we were looking for. It's not the overlook that I expected, but nice little lake. This is, according to the map, is Gladys Lake. It's amazing. We, just finished climbing up, I don't even know, 1,000 feet, just to find all these beautiful lakes right at the top of the mountain. In the Devil's Postpile National Monument area, and out of the Inyo Forest. Hello.
So in a little bit, we'll be able to view the post pile.
Okay. Nice.
So, right there is a look. And 0.6 miles. Cool.
Cool.
I think we get a better view.
There we go. Some rocks jutting out. Looks like this might be the spot. Oops.
I've never seen that in person.
So,
Big old bucket of water.
we're almost up to Red's Meadow. Last little bit of path. And I don't know what the hell we were thinking, but we should have taken the helicopter. Red's Meadow. Where do we need to go?
Oh, look,
I guess over to the left, huh? What's that? Yeah, 36 miles from Tuolumne. That's where we came from. So it's...
I mean, the flow rate's a little better, but it's still maddening.
Yeah. Well, it's morning of day 4. We're at Deer Creek, about 6 miles out of Red's Meadow, where we stopped last night and had some real food. Just getting some water at the creek. Brett's down there somewhere. There he is. Getting some water. I guess there's about a 5-mile stretch after this with no water. And looks like we're past all the smoke. The skies are all clear. There's barely any clouds at all. And definitely no smoke. So we're just leaving Virginia Lake. It's morning of day 5, I guess. I've already lost track. So we had a long day yesterday. The longest day so far. It was almost 17 miles. A lot of elevation. And we didn't get into camp until about 7 o'clock at night. Just ate dinner and went to bed. And then we got back on the trail. Got up early this morning, earlier than normal, and started going about 6:15. And we're on our way to VVR today for Vermilion Valley Resort. We got about 15 miles to get to the boat. There's a boat that'll ferry us across the lake, the last stretch to get to VVR. But we got to get to the boat by 4:45, so made sure to get an early start this morning. And yes, it's a decent amount of miles today, but it's a lot of downhill, so hopefully they're easy downhills and we'll get it to the ferry with plenty of time to spare. Yeah. It's day 7. We took a 0 day. We at Vermilion Valley Resort yesterday, VVR. So we just took the day off, and so now we're on Bear Creek Trail, headed back to the JMT, and there's Brent on his way, and we picked up a van at VVR yesterday, added him to our group, so now there's 4 of us, and we're headed to, what did we decide we were going to head to tonight? Marie Lake? Or just before then? Like the Marie Meadow?
I think Marie Lake was the goal.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, so I think Marie Lake tonight is where we were planning to camp, and then we should reach Muir Trail Ranch end of the day tomorrow, and then pick up our second resupply there. So I had slipped already about 4 times. So when we were at VVR, there I was able to order some new shoes from the REI in Fresno, which is like 3 hours away. But one of the guys that works there lives in Fresno, and he was coming in this morning, so he was able to pick them up for me, and then brought them, before we left from camp this morning. So now I got some new shoes, and they're a lot better soles, a lot more grip. So I was getting pretty worried if already slipping quite a bit, and it's only going to get the terrain's only going to get harder from here on out. So that's pretty good. Yeah.
Do you have an appetite?
I do.
Well, yeah. Although the only thing that I get really excited about is dinner.
Me too.
Like seriously, I'll think about it all day. Like, ooh, I know what I have now. What do I feel like?
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim, for that.
Me, Tim. We didn't make it to Marie Lakes last night, but we made it here this morning for breakfast. last night we made it just past the crossing for Deer Creek, which can be pretty dangerous when it's right now, because we just had to cross on a bunch of rocks. It's not really that big of a deal. It's still a pretty good current, but there's no problem. But I've seen other videos where they were literally up to their waist and crossing with like their arms chained together because the current was so strong. Oh, Brent was.
Warn me next time. Got a second stomach.
So it's Saturday again. It's Saturday again, so Brent and I have been on the trail for
1 week.
Officially 1 week.
2 more to go, brothers.
Yeah, well, hopefully not quite 2, because then we'll be late for our plane.
So I've been on here
A little
for
less than 2 weeks. Yeah, you've been
10 days?
Yeah, 10 days. Week and a half. That's what I was saying this morning. I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
I don't even know who I am anymore.
I know. We're at Murray Lakes.
Do you have to think about what day it is? I do.
Big time.
Oh, yeah.
I only knew it was Saturday because I saw it on my phone.
Right. So we're headed to MTR tonight. We got only just less than 11 miles, it should be. So we got we think that Selden Pass just over there, it's only like 0.8 miles to get to the top of Selden Pass. So pretty sure if that's not it, then it's pretty close. But there's not much elevation left to do. We already did a lot, which again is crazy with all these lakes. You know, and you hike up 1,000, 2,000 feet, and you get this huge lake at the
It's voice command.
top of the.
So I don't have to press a button.
You know, top of the mountain.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's a nice feature.
so we got the.
For a selfie or for any picture, I can just say, as a voice command, if I say smile, it will take a picture. It will like do a 5-second timer.
Nice. So we got Muir Trail Ranch tonight,
It's hard to
and we're gonna
selfie.
enjoy the hot springs there, and then we got. We'll pick up our resupply in the morning, and that'll be our last one, and we're gonna be pretty well
Very slow.
weighed down tomorrow morning. That's gonna be when we're heaviest. Our packs are heaviest.
Still not impaired.
It's now Sunday morning, second Sunday morning, our 8th day out here. We resupplied at Muir Trail Ranch this morning, so we all have heaviest our packs are going to be is right now. We made it through the Ansel Adams wilderness, and we just entered into Kings Canyon National Park, just a few hundred feet back, or a few hundred yards back, whatever, a little ways back. We picked up 9 days of food at MTR for the last stretch, and Tim's pack was the lightest at 35 pounds, and Brent's was 38 pounds, and mine was the winner or the loser, depending on your point of view, at 44 pounds. Just stopped for some water a few minutes ago. A nice spot along the river over there, and there were some other people there, another group that was there, and little did we know it was like a chartered group with guides, and they had stopped there for lunch. That the guides all prepared for them, and after all the rich folk had their fill of their sandwiches, they offered us the leftovers of some sous vide pork loin with plum chutney, right? Yeah, some sous vide pork loin with plum chutney. Offered us our fill of that. So that was a nice unexpected treat. So we were very thankful for that. After how many days of dehydrated food and some granola bars. Just another beautiful mountain lake. We're on our way to Muir Pass today. It's a big milestone. Should be there sometime this afternoon. When we last left our Day 10 programming, we were transitioning from Mountain Lake 1 to Mountain Lake 2, which are somewhere down there, along with Mountain Lake 3. Wrong way, zoom out. Mountain Lake 4, you can just see right there, already passed that. And then here is Mountain Lake 5. So it's been a motivational Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah, Monday. Motivational Monday to see what's over each next one of these passes. So if you can hear me over the wind, down there is Mountain Lake number 6. And right over here is the hut on top of Muir Pass. And I'm more excited than I have words for. Let's take a look.
Smile.
He's doing selfie. Muir Hut was constructed in 1930 by the Sierra Club in cooperation with Sierra National Forest and dedicated to the memory of John Muir. The Muir Hut is intended as a temporary shelter for hikers caught in storms on this exposed section of trail. Overnight camping and fires are, well, prohibited is scratched out, so, but we're not staying here anyway. Let's check out inside if it's not too dark. Whoa, there we go.
And we're going to do a, what do you call it? Selfie.
This is kind of cool. Antlers from something, a deer, I suppose. Seen lots of deer. And actually, if the weather gets bad, you can stay in here. We're not going to.
You can, it says that.
Yeah, you can stay in here. I've seen videos of people that were staying in here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. And it's really, I think it's intended for, you know, when it gets real bad weather. But, yeah, but you can stay in there. A little fire pit. Again, I'm not sure if there's, well, it doesn't look like anybody's had a fire in there for a long time, so.
What about that one?
Oh, and this is all blocked off, so apparently no fires. But
At one time.
And I'm sure, you know, if it's a snowstorm outside, you'd be happy just to have some walls.
Yeah.
It's morning of day 12. We started this morning by climbing the golden staircase, and we camped somewhere right in there. So we've been going for, I'm not sure how long. Maybe I hour and a half or so. I'm not sure. But still got a ways to go yet. Sure is a nice view though. Almost. Not too much farther. I gotta definitely have, hopefully, most of it done and over with. I guess we'll see once we get to the top of that next ridge. We made it to the top of the golden staircase. So now we're at, I think this is Lower Palisades Lake, and trying to figure out how far we want to go for the rest of the day. We've had all long days, so been getting into camp at like 6 o'clock or later every day, so I think everybody wants a shorter day, maybe finally rents out some clothes, and it's really just a matter of Meadow Pass is probably 4 miles up, I think. So I think it's really a matter of, do we want to camp before Meadow Pass and have a really short day, or go up Meadow Pass and then camp after that and just have a fairly short day. So we'll see what happens. We ended up at the top of Meadow Pass today. Now we gotta work our way down and find some place to camp. Dust from a rock fall that just happened a few seconds ago. We thought it was some jets from one of the military bases around here.
That's pretty amazing. Still going.
Yeah, I can still hear it.
Yeah, it's just tumbling down through the Tuolumne. Alright, so this young young sister, she just gets out of the shower at the nunnery, and here's the doorbell ring, and she yells out, you know, "Who is it?" And the guy goes, "Blind man." So she thinks, oh, okay. She opens the door, and the guy goes, "Ah, nice tits, sister. Where do you want the blinds hung?"
That's the joke of the day. It's a little unsteady. Right. We're at the suspension bridge over Woods Creek. There's a bunch of nice camping here, but we camped a couple of miles north of here and then just made it here this morning and had some breakfast. But the guys that just passed said that just last year there used to be a wooden 2x4 slats along the whole thing, and then just last year they replaced it with the metal grid. In fact, the one guy said that he was here as they were replacing it, so he said that, you know, they'd let a few people go across and then they'd work on it some more and then let a few other people go across. So you kind of got half wood and half of the metal. Here comes some more people. I think these are the couple of girls that had camped by us last night, maybe. Morning of day 16. We just finished climbing up Glen Pass, and yesterday we took a 0 day at Ray Lake, which is right down there was where we camped. And so just finished having breakfast at the top of the pass. A bunch of other people here. And this is the rest of our path today, and plan on doing about 10 miles today to get to the path, to get to the base of what pass are we doing tomorrow? Brent, what pass are we doing tomorrow?
It's Forester Pass.
Forester Pass tomorrow, that's right. I can never keep track. They just tell me where to go. And then, so tomorrow we'll do Forester Pass and get as far as we can. Get as close as we can to Guitar Lake and camp for the night. And then we'll do Whitney after that. So we're getting to the last few days here.
Yeah. See that. Hit Whitney. Hey.
Awesome.
We're making our way down Glen Pass. Got a bunch of switchbacks here. And this is my least favorite part. Going downhill, but here I got Brent out in the lead, and then Van, and then Tim, and then I'll have to catch up with them after things level out a bit. Finally made it to the turnoff for Kearsarge Pass, which is what I kept calling Donahue Pass like 2 weeks ago. And we're not even taking Kearsarge Pass. That's one of the side trails to get to Independence if you want to restock there. In fact, the Australians that we've been with, Bill and Rachel, they took that way. They're going to get their last resupply and get a real meal, and then get back on the trail, and maybe we'll meet up with them again before the end. Not sure. It's a good chance of it though, because they move pretty quickly. Some people camped here. They're got llamas with them that they're using as pack animals. Haven't seen that yet. Well, that's not a llama. Where is it? Yeah, I guess it is. Here's their saddles. I guess they're using those for the llamas. I didn't realize that llamas could carry people like that, but I guess they can. I think that's the top of Forester Pass. Hopefully it's the top and not a false peak, but based on the people standing up there just hanging out, I'm gonna guess that's as far up as we need to go. shadowy. There's some snow. A little bit of snow below us. Bunch of peaks way off in the distance. Alright, let's finish this up. About a mile ago, we passed a sign that said Mount Whitney was 16.1 miles away. And just about a minute ago, passed somebody going the other direction and didn't even notice him till I saw his feet. So, and then not for the first time. So at this point, it's, you know, eyes forward, focused, and just eyes on the prize. So we're getting on the last few miles and getting close. Day 18, just coming down, last little bit before Guitar Lake. There's couple of tents down there already. We just had a short day today. We camped right by where the High Sierra Trail meets the JMT, and we only had about 7 or 8 miles, and it started just after 7, so it's sometime before noon now. So we'll have the rest of the day to rest up. I think we're actually going to camp above somewhere up there, but we're gonna go down and hang out by the lake for a little bit first and see what's up, and then we got a big day tomorrow. We've been at Guitar Lake for a few hours, and quite a few more people showed up. Tim and Van are way over on the other side over there, but we've also had a change of plans because looks like there's a storm supposed to be coming in. In fact, that might be headed our way right now. So instead of heading up above the lake, we're just going to stay right here where we are and see what happens. As of now, we're still planning on getting up early, probably leave camp by 2 o'clock is what we're planning on, and then hiking to the summit to get there for the sunrise. Hopefully there is a sunrise. We'll see what happens with the rain, but so earlier I talked to a guy that was on his second day today, headed north. I envy him, because as much as I'm anxious to be done, get a shower and a hot meal, I'd turn around and do it all over again.